I'm going to talk about things that real doctors confront all the time. You ask a physician in Santa Barbara, do you see anybody like this? 50-year-old man, 2 grown kids. He spends 3 or 4 hours a day in the car. And he comes in and goes, Doc, I'm tired. And the doctor asks some more questions, finds out the man gets no exercise, weighs him, he's 30 pounds overweight, his blood pressure is too high, checks him out, his cholesterol is too high, his blood sugar is too high. And so, of course, the doctor sends the person off for a meeting with a nutritionist, says, you might want to talk about to a psychotherapist, you might want to reduce the demands in your life, you need to walk a lot more and do more exercise. And so 2 months later, he comes back to see the doctor and says, well, the insurance company only covered 2 meetings with a nutritionist. They'd spend $35,000 on stomach stapling surgery, but only 2 meetings with a nutritionist. And they'd only covered 2 meetings with a psychotherapist. And, Doc, the day is too full. I've got no time to exercise. And so 2 months later, where is this patient? He's taking something for his blood pressure, something for his cholesterol, something for his depression. He's so irritating to his wife, she's left him, he's now taking Viagra. Things are not going well. And he's spending $385 a month on medical care, on drugs alone. These are the diseases of the 21st century. 100 years ago, if you look to see what people were sick with, they were all the infectious diseases, the leading causes of death, pneumonia, tuberculosis, and the rest. Our average lifespan was about 35 years. And people absolutely understood that how you felt was connected to where you lived. Was the house warm? Was it crowded? Was it damp? Was there sunlight? One of the real leaders on this whole connection between the built environment and where people live and their health was this man. He's one of my heroes. His name is Frederick Law Olmsted. And you may have heard of him as the man that designed many of the places we love most in the United States of America. Central Park, Prospect Park, the parks in all of our major cities, the Emerald Necklace in Boston. He even designed a wonderful bicycle and carriage routes all up and down the Los Angeles River for 100 miles, which, by the way, were never put in place. Imagine what L.A. would have been like if they had put those parks in place 100 years ago. But he was also a health leader. The Union Army was losing more than half their soldiers to disease. The slightest wound was causing people to develop infections and die, the soldiers. He became head of the Sanitary Commission at the request of President Lincoln, and the survival, in a very short time, he worked with Clara Barton and others, the survival of Union soldiers doubled because of basically changing the physical environment of where they're being cared for. Sunlight, fresh air, decent food, decent water, cleanliness. And I'm going to argue that the lessons of changing the physical environment and improving people's health can be transferred to the 21st century as well. Oh no.